What is going on, everybody? Before I get into anything that I'm gonna say, I just like to thank you guys all for 5,000 subscribers. That is just an astounding number that I never thought I'd reach when I first started making videos on a consistent basis. But thanks to all of you guys, I've been able to meet that milestone and even go beyond it. I posted a video by the name of the game of Hot Potato that screwed Darien Lake as the first part of this celebration, so make sure to go check that video out if you haven't already. And the last part of this celebration will be the creation of the channel called WNY and Beyond. This channel will be used to feature off-ride footage that will be copyright free. That means any footage that I post on that channel, and for this channel for that matter, will be copyright free, and you'll be able to use it for your videos as long as you give credit to WNY Coasters. I may also post something like travel vlogs or something like that on that channel, so there'll be plenty of extra content coming out on WNY and Beyond as well, so it gives you guys more incentives to subscribe. But most of the videos on that channel will be for like off-ride footage and stuff, but there will be some other extra content, so make sure to subscribe, especially if you're a content creator looking for off-ride footage. Moving on, the format of this video will probably be mostly just off-ride footage and POVs, playing over my voice answering the questions. I might do a few face cam clips, but there's not going to be anything special going on the screen or anything, so you can listen to this video as a podcast or something like that. But once again, I'd like to thank you guys all for 5,000 subscribers. And with that being said, let's get straight into the Q&A. Alright, so I'm going to go right down the list from oldest to newest on the 2 community posts that I did for the Q&A. The first question comes from Coaster Cinema, who asked, what is your top bucket list coaster in the world? Personally, mine is X2/Ajanica. Personally, I probably think Expedition GeForce is my top bucket list coaster in the world. Mainly because Ride of Steel is just so close to my heart, and I really love Intamin Mega Coasters, and I really want to do the one that's supposed to be the best out of them all. Although there is a lot of RMCs I do want to get on. The second question comes from Logan Benjamin. It's a 2-part question. What 5 rides would you want to see at Niagara Amusement Park and Splash World? And what 5 rides do you predict will be coming to Niagara Amusement Park and Splash World? You know, there's a lot of rides that I'd like to see come to Niagara Amusement Park and Splash World. I think one of them has to be a Larson Drop Tower, which I think is actually pretty realistic considering what kind of park they are and how those rides seem to go to smaller parks. But yeah, so that's one of them. I'd say I would really like to see a Raptor go there. I think that'd be a really, really good fit. It'd be a nice contrast to Silver Comet. I'm not going to go all coasters just to make this more interesting. But I'd probably like to see... I think a 2nd generation Enterprise would be really good for this park. That's 3. So we got 2 more. Let's go... maybe one of those like hamster wheel like kiddie family coasters from SPF. That would be pretty cool. And then, there's a lot of. I think a Skyscreamer would be good. I know Darien Lake has one, but the park used to have one. I never actually had the chance to do it, but I assume it'd be pretty cool being on Grand Island. But yeah, so I guess those would be the 5 rides that I'd like to see at Niagara Amusement Park and Splash World, and the 5 rides that I predict will come to the park. From what I've seen so far in terms of like pictures and shipments and stuff, I know these aren't confirmed because they might just be stored at the park, but a Scrambler will probably be coming to the park. Music Express will probably come to the park. I definitely say a kiddie coaster will probably come to the park as well. I'm predicting that we're gonna get the Schwarzkopf shuttle loop from what was it, La Feria in Mexico. I think we'll get that, which is, I'm hearing that's pretty likely that will happen, so I'm hoping that'll happen, so it'll be really cool to get that coaster. As that coaster, what was it called, Cascabel 2.0 in Mexico, and then it was Laser Loop in America. So I believe that's 3. Let's do a water park ride. Maybe I could see trapdoor slides, but I'm not gonna predict that. I'm gonna say a family raft slide. I think the park doesn't have a family raft slide, so I think we'll get a family raft slide. And then for the last ride, I'll say they'll get some sort of drop tower. Maybe not a Larson drop tower, but they'll get some sort of drop tower. Princess Christian asks, if you had to pick one company to design coasters for, which company would you pick? Definitely RMC, because they seem to have the coolest, ride technology, and they seem to be coming out with new stuff like every few years. And there's just a whole lot you could do with the way they design the roller coasters, and they're an American company, which is really cool. There's not a whole lot of American companies that build roller coasters that are really consistent, so that'd be pretty cool as well. Snick Lizard Turtle asks, if you could ride one roller coaster from every continent, what would they be? So North America, I'm gonna go with dang, that's really tough. Maybe I'm gonna say Fury 325. Fury 325 just looks like such a great coaster and seems really desirable. South America, I don't really know any South American coasters at the top of my head. They have Quantum Loop in like Colombia or something, so I guess that would be the coaster I'd want to ride. Let's see, Africa. I'd probably say that what's that? It's a Geovinol like invert or something in like Gold Reef City or whatever that park is called. There's something at that park, whatever that invert is. That looked pretty cool. I don't really do a lot of research on African coasters either. But Europe, Expedition G-Force. Asia, probably Ajanica. Or Dinoconda. If I'm pronouncing that right, that'd probably be a good one to do as well. But Great Bear Productions asked, what is your favorite coaster to ride at night? I'd probably have to say Mystic Timbers is a really good night ride. I still haven't done Beast at Night because I wasn't open the time I went to Kings Island. But Mystic Timbers is up there. I think pretty much anything at Kings Island is good. Diamondback's a really good nighttime coaster as well. I think Ride of Steel is a really good nighttime coaster. And Phantom's Revenge is a really good nighttime coaster. But I guess I'll say Mystic Timbers is my final answer. And he also asked, thoughts on chicken parmesan? I like chicken parmesan. I mean, it's not my favorite thing ever, but I like it. And I make sure to have it every once in a while. Mr. Man 12W asks, not including Cedar Point, what is your favorite park to go to? I'm probably just gonna say, in terms of like parks that I've been to multiple times, because I feel like one parks I've only been to once doesn't really count for this. But I'm gonna say Hershey Park. Hershey Park just got a really good atmosphere. The employees are pretty nice. It's a lot of really good roller coasters there too. So yeah, I'll say that for my answer. Hershey Park enthusiast asks, most underrated Intamin. Man, that's a tough one. I'd have to look at my rankings, but I'd say Fahrenheit's up there. I don't know, man. There's a lot of Intamins that are misrated per se, but I can't think of any ones off the top of my head. I'll pull out my rankings for right now to see which ones I think are underrated. Storm Runner is definitely underrated, and I'd also say Superman the Ride gets a little too much slack as well. If you were to have a theme park built from the ground up, where would it be located and what will your first 5 coasters be? It'd probably be located in Austin, Texas. There's not really any parks like around that area, and that's such a the population is growing like so much around there. But my first 5 coasters would probably be I'd say an Intamin Mega Coaster, some sort of RMC. I'd probably say just a hybrid RMC. B&M Invert would be one. For a looping, I'll do a Vekoma for a looping coaster, like a new Vekoma. I'd probably be like a launch coaster, like a Abyssus or something. And then I do like maybe like a family spinning coaster. That'd also be really cool. By the way, that question came from Easton Christensen, so I'm sorry for not mentioning that at the beginning. But next question from your local cemetery: thoughts on Coney Island? I'm called Western New York Coasters for a reason. I actually haven't been to Coney Island yet, which may shock some people, but I'm looking forward to getting there soon. I actually haven't even been in New York City yet, so that's kind of wild. But it looks like a cool park. Looks like a nice boardwalk park, and they've been kind of adding a lot of stuff. And the thing with Coney Island is they're sort of like an experimental park for Zamperla, so all the Zamperla rides go there. All their they basically just use it as their showcase park. So I think it's a pretty cool park and a place I definitely want to get out to. Kentuckian Coasters asks, if you could go to any park right now, what would it be? I think Silver Dollar City, or I'll probably say Silver Dollar City or Tokyo Disney Sea. Mainly because Silver Dollar City is just Silver Dollar City, and I've never been there. And Tokyo Disney Sea just looks incredible. So that's probably why I go to those parks. Samuel Hoffman asks, what was your best experience with a ride operator? The best experience with a ride operator that I can think of is at Cedar Point when Steel Vengeance broke down, and we were using an exit pass to get up, and the ride operator just let us give us a free pass to come back anytime we wanted, and we were able to get on Steel Vengeance not once but twice that night because we were able to go up the exit, and then we got back in the normal line, so we got to double up on Steel Vengeance rides after it had broken down. So that was a pretty good experience with a ride operator. Ethan Z asks, if you can only ride 5 roller coasters for the rest of your life, which ones would they be? Ride of Steel would definitely be one of them. And I'm going to go based on what coasters I've ridden just to make this a little more fair. Ride of Steel definitely be one of them. I'd say Steel Vengeance will be one of them. Sky Rush would be one of them. I'm going to say Orion would be one. I'll say Orion because that's probably my favorite Giga coaster that I've been on right now. And I'm gonna make this a little more diverse with the last pick. I'll say Montu because Montu is like my favorite invert right now. So I'll say those would be the 5. That question was from Prop Force, and Prop Force also asked, do you think you'll get a new number 1 if you travel to Europe? Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of good coasters like Terran, Wildfire. There's tons of other rides that I'm not even mentioning. So there's probably a pretty decent chance. It really depends on what parks I get to and what coasters I'd ride. Prop Force also asked, what's the most well-rounded coaster have you ridden besides Maverick? Steel Vengeance. I don't even consider Maverick to be the most well-rounded coaster that I've ridden, but Maverick is a very well-rounded coaster. I'll say that much. Prop Force also asks, what is your most unpopular opinion? I don't have that many controversial opinions. Me saying Darien Lake has the worst management in the entire country. Apparently people think Darien Lake's actually a decent park and it's run fairly well, but I think Darien Lake might be the worst run park in the entire country, so that's probably a controversial opinion in itself. But I think in terms of roller coasters and rankings, I think Batwing's a fringe. It's actually my favorite flying coaster. I like it better than the B&M Flyer, so that's unpopular. And I like Orion more than Temera 305, so that's pretty unpopular. The Big Floppa asks, can we do another live stream but with Foop, aka Hangtime Thrills? The last one was lit. We might be able to do one of those at some point. So stay tuned for that, guys. Chip asks, how did you become an enthusiast? I became a roller coaster enthusiast. It was kind of a phased interest for me. It must have been 2014 or 2015. I started watching Coaster Studios, and I was learning about some of the parks in the country. I wasn't I was so scared to ride roller coasters, but I just found them interesting. And the more that kind of I've always been a person who just watched a lot of YouTube. But then I kind of took a break for a while. And then I heard about people talking about Darien Lake in my school or whatever, and I was I really want to go to this place and see what these rides look like, because the biggest rides I've ever seen were from Seabreeze and Disney World. So I wasn't really I saw Ride of Steel, and I was whoa, Viper scared the crap out of me just looking at how big that was, and I was wow, man. But I'd probably say and then I went to Darien Lake, and I rode Viper. That was my first upside down coaster, and then beyond that, I went back to Darien Lake. Next year, I did Ride of Steel. Then I did I went to Canada's Wonderland and did Leviathan and stuff, and that really was how I became an enthusiast. But yeah, YouTube kind of made me a coaster enthusiast, so it's kind of going full circle. YouTube has done a lot for me, I'll say that much. Tori A asks if you could have any park be your home park, which would you choose both domestically and internationally? Domestically, I'd probably say Kings Island's definitely up there. I wouldn't choose Cedar Point because that would just kind of be a pain to deal with the crowds every time. But Kings Island's a real like homey park, and definitely a park I'd like to be my home park. I think Kennywood would be a decent home park as well, even though it's not run that well. But I would like my home park to be small, but also like have a decent selection of rides. And internationally, I would say Canada's Wonderland, but that'd be the easy answer. Jeez. There's so, like, I don't know. It'd be so hard to think of one. Maybe, like, Six Flags Mexico would be a cool home park because they have the two really good coasters there. But I've still never been to the park, so I don't know. Probably Six Flags Mexico. Snake Lizard Turtle asked, what was your first roller coaster and what coaster got you to become an enthusiast? My first roller coaster was Bear Tracks at Seabreeze, I believe, and maybe bobsleds. One of those two. I think it was Bear Tracks. So, and the coaster that got me to really become a coaster enthusiast, probably Ride of Steel and Viper, like collectively, because once I rode Viper, I was like, I want to go do I kind of was getting towards doing other rides, and then Ride of Steel was like the turning point for me. Prince Royce fan 667 asked, what is your favorite all-time element on a roller coaster? I'd probably have to say El Toro's Camelbacks. El Toro's Camelbacks are just so good. And Steel Vengeance Second Hill is really good. The second big outer banking hill is really good as well, but I'd probably say El Toro's Camelbacks is my first favorite element. And Chase asks, what 5 rides do you think will be coming to Niagara Amusement Park in the future? And do you think Predator will ever get RMC or GCI'd? So the 5 rides I said for Niagara Amusement Park were the Scrambler, Music Express, the Schwarzkopf Shuttle Loop, the Family Raft Slide, and a Drop Tower. Just to reiterate what I said earlier. I think I could a couple other rides. I could probably see another Zamperla Disco coming to that park, and maybe maybe another Crazy Mouse can come there. I've heard rumors that they might get a Crazy Mouse, so that would be kind of cool. But in terms of Predator getting the RMC treatment or Titan Track treatment, unfortunately at this point I'm gonna have to say no, mainly because I just don't think the park's pulling in the numbers that it needs to get some sort of significant investment or justify it for Six Flags. So I'm gonna say no for now, but that could change. Vector 4 asked, what is the most out of your way coaster you have ridden? That's a tough one. I haven't really gone that far away to ride a roller coaster, but I would say, I guess, the mountain coaster. The mountain coaster at Greek Peak was pretty far out of my way. I mean, I kind of did that trip just to go ride it, so that's like an hour and a half from where I live, so I guess that's fair. And, Tammy Heffernan. I'm sorry if I read that wrong. Tammy Heffernan. I'm sorry, my eyes are playing tricks on me. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But if you were a coaster, what would your name be? What type of coaster would you be and why? I'd probably be like an Intamin Mega Coaster. I mean, I love them, but I think I have a lot of good things to offer, and a lot of, occasionally some not good things to offer. So, I think Intamin Mega Coasters do have some like duds in terms of elements and stuff. But what would my name? Honestly, I have no clue. Maybe like resilience. I don't know, something like that. I wouldn't even. I don't even know if I'd be considered resilient, but there's probably people way more resilient than you. But something along those lines. I could also see myself as a B&M invert as well. But Tyus26, I'm sorry if I read that wrong or pronounced that wrong. Top 5 parks. I'll probably be doing a video on this at some point, like a top 10 parks at the end of the year. That I'll do around the same time as my top 25 overall roller coasters. Maybe I'll do a top 50. I don't know yet. But yeah, it'll be. I'll definitely do a video on that at some point. Will Phoenix at Faroop Summerland? I totally botched that, but whatever. Be better than Abyssus or Light Coaster. Probably better than Abyssus. People are saying Abyssus isn't that good. And Light Coaster, I don't know. Light Coaster looks really good. So I don't really watch like POVs and whatnot, but I've heard. I don't know. I think it'll probably be pretty close with Light Coaster from what I'm hearing. But that question was from Coaster Hockey Gaming Boy. I'm sorry for not saying that earlier. Tammy Heffernan, yeah, hopefully I said that right this time. What coaster was your absolute scariest one for you to ride so far in your life? Definitely Ride of Steel, because I was like crying before I went on that, but now it's not scary. But Coaster Fart asks, most overrated coaster have you ridden? Probably Ravine Flyer 2, unfortunately. Like I like Ravine Flyer 2, don't get me wrong, but people I feel like some of these bigger Gravity groups people rave about and just aren't, like, people say Voyage is really good. You know, I feel like I won't like Voyage that much, unfortunately. But, you know, Ravine Flyer 2 is probably the most overrated coaster I've ridden. Sky Guy R12 Turn asks, current number 1 coaster. That's classified. That'll come out, sometime toward the end of the year, maybe early next year. Your next video, top 10 worst roller coasters I've ever ridden. Maybe I'll do something like that, but I don't really keep track of like negative things like that. But I'll definitely consider doing something like that at some point. Why do you praise the dirtiest channel of all time? Dirtiest coaster channel of all time, I should say, Coast Tunes. I don't really find him to be that dirty. I mean, he does say some slightly edgier things, but I don't know, just sort of his style. Number 1 bucket list coaster this year, ridden or not? It was Steel Vengeance, and I rode it. Number 1 bucket list coaster next year. I don't really know what I'm doing next year quite yet, but maybe Fury or Lightning Round, we'll see. When you ride every coaster on Earth, which is the second best of the best, unless that is Steel Vengeance? I don't think I will ride every coaster on Earth, but that'd be a fun goal to have. Second best in the world? Honestly, I don't know. I won't really know until I ride them. Nug Bumps asked, what is your dream top 5 at a park? Sky Rush, Steel Vengeance. I'm gonna keep this maybe a little more diverse. I guess Orion. I'm going by coasters I've ridden, if you guys can't already tell. Damn. I'm trying to think. I think Montu maybe, and maybe Kumba. How old are you? I'm currently 15, but I'm turning 16 very shortly. That question was from Sky GLT Rolls. I'm sorry if I botched that. Mr. Roller Coasters asked, why are you such a menace by trying your hardest to stay ahead of me with your coaster count? Just part of the game, man. What's your favorite and least favorite subject in school? I'm not gonna count like PE or lunch because that's the easy answer, but my favorite subject's probably like history, I guess. I mean, the writing part of it kind of sucks, but you know. And my least favorite subject's gotta be math. I don't really see much of a point for like, you know, higher level math and whatnot. You got a girlfriend? No, I do not. But yeah, I guess I'm on the market, so that's the thing. Anyways, on to the next question. Sonny Sitnot, What is your favorite coaster model? Probably RMC hybrid coasters or Intamin mega coasters. RMC fanboy. Any Dutch bucket list coasters? Dutch coasters. Of course I can't. Wallaby Holland's got Goliath, Untamed, and that Lost Gravity, I think it's called, that Mock Big Mac, and then there's I think Toverland's in the Netherlands, and that's got some cool rides, but I honestly can't think of any Dutch coasters other than Wallaby Holland, because I can't remember what parks are actually in the Netherlands. After doing some on-the-spot research, Gold Rush looks pretty cool in the Netherlands, and Troy looks pretty cool at Toverland. So yeah, there's my answer for that. Coaster Hockey Gaming Boy asks favorite basketball team. Terms of like NBA, I don't really have one. I guess like the Raptors or the Bulls or something like that. But in terms of college, Pittsburgh, the Pitt Panthers are my favorite basketball team. Favorite football team, Pittsburgh Steelers. Favorite hockey team, Pittsburgh Penguins. Favorite baseball team, unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Do you think Elrod's not as good after the retracking? I have not done Elrod before the retracking, so I don't know. Is Darien Lake one of the worst Six Flags parks? It's probably the worst one I've been to. Maybe Great Escape is worse. I don't know, but Great Escape actually is pretty nice. Is Little Phantom our king? Yes. Imperial Coaster asks, do you think Great Escape will receive more thrill editions like Adirondack Outlaw? I mean, if it does well, I think Great Escape gets decent attendance, so I could definitely see that. But I've heard that Adirondack Outlaw is a really good ride, so hopefully they will. I mean, if they can get another coaster, that'd be really nice. But I think the family-oriented mentality that that park has is pretty good as it is. But Theme Park Films asks, will Jersey Devil be open for holiday in the park? I heard it will be. But judging by the pacing, I don't know if it's anything below like 40 degrees it'll be able to operate. Travis Wagner asks, what is your favorite element and any coaster if you had to choose? I said El Toro's Camelbacks when I was asked that question before. But also Jersey Devil's first drop in the back row is really good. But it's just in the back row, so I guess it doesn't really count. But Pixely the Gamer asks, what's the most operated park you have visited? Maybe oldest. I don't really understand that question, but I'll say oldest. I think the oldest park I've been to is Lake Compounce, but yeah, I don't really understand that question. If you could clarify in the comments below if you're watching this, I could answer that question more accurately. Cameron Davis, what are your favorite parks and why? What are the reason they're your favorite? Good staff, quality coasters, coaster lineup, busyness. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I'll be doing that video shortly. At some point about my favorite parks, but some of my favorite parks are probably Kings Island, Hershey Park, Cedar Point. What other parks? I think Six Flags Great Adventure is pretty decent. Kings Dominion's really good. Both Busch Gardens parks are good. Islands of Adventure is good. There's a lot of parks that I really like. Deadshot Enlightenment Leader asks, if you could bring back one closed park, which park would it be and what would you add in it? Oh man, I'd probably have to say it's either Geauga Lake or Astroworld. I'll probably say Astroworld just because there's not really a big park in Houston now, and I'd probably put like a hypercoaster or something in it that would really top off the lineup. But the Geauga Lake would be the same kind of thing. Coaster Creation TV asks, what is your number one invert and number one Intamin? My number one invert is, I think I still have Monto as my number one invert, and I have my number one Intamin as Skyrush. Hershey Park Kid asks, how old are you? I'm 15, and when did you start making videos? I started making videos like, it would be about a year, consistently like 16 months ago. I always posted like dumb little, like really low quality footage videos, but I started in like April of 2020, so actually it'd be like 18 months. So yeah, I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing this, especially because of all the support you guys have given me. But yeah, that wraps up all the questions. I'd like to thank you guys all for checking out this video. Thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers. once again, and I appreciate you guys asking me all the questions. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.